Welcome guys, Jerome here. When lightning hit, we do not change the laws of nature. Welcome to extremistan, or the non-linear or the complex domain. Since the world has become increasingly more unpredictable due to globalization and internet, we are witnessing the following problems which pervade across board: the difference between anecdote and evidence, the difference between knowledge and bias, the difference between an observation that is fact-check and something you can generalize. How do you know something is safe? Let me give you a short story borrowed from Bertrand Russell. A turkey is fed for 1,000 days by a butcher, and every day confirms to the turkey statistic department, the turkey accounting department, the turkey membership site, the turkey marketing department, the Federal Reserve Department, that the butcher loves the turkey with increasing statistical evidence until November, 2 days before Thanksgiving. Is never a good idea to be a turkey that day. The turkey will get a big surprise, the unexpected, the random, by becoming dead meat. This is, by the way, in a nutshell, the illustration of the consequence of inferring from the observable, or generalizing from the known to the unknown. Yes. Now, my point here is that we can probably solve this problem by figuring out in which domain these errors are vastly consequential and in which domain these errors are not consequential. Right? So, we are going to make a separation between two domains with this classical experiment. Let us dive in. First and foremost, let us take the Mediocristan. There are two worlds. There is the Mediocristan and extremistan. Let us take Mediocristan. Keep in mind, we simultaneously inhabit these two worlds. We human, obviously. The Mediocristan is characterized by the collection of the regular. Yes, it is the average that dominates. In technical terms, if you take randomly, or if you select randomly 1,000 people and you place them on the scale in terms of weight, we can quickly figure out the average weight of the total, right? Quite simple. Now, add to that sample the heaviest person you can think of in the world. Key question: how much of the total the exception represent? Answer is, well, 0.3%, meaning 0.3%. In other words, the means, which here is the average weight, is close to the exception, right? So, from here, we can derive the properties. This, by the way, is called the law of large numbers, which is defined as when your sample becomes large, no single observation can impact the total. I say very well, no single observation. Why? Because the outlier, the rare, the exception, is close to the means, right? And from there you can draw out the properties. Now, without this law, statistics, social science won't exist. By the way, if you earn money per hour, or you're a dentist, or you're a massage therapist, or you're a carpenter, you are a Mediocristan, my dear friend. Why? Because you cannot store your work and scale it. You have to be there to perform. Even if you want to become wealthy, you have to be self-disciplined and due diligent. It is over the years that you make the buck, meaning the money, right? Here, it is the average of your work that dominates. But let us shift now in extremistan. Let us take randomly the same selected sample of 1,000 people, and instead of weight, let us take wealth and add to the sample the richest person alive today. It is Bill Gates, right? I think 70 billions. How much of the total will he represent? The answer is quite simple and easy. 99.99999% of the total. Therefore, the total is completely irrelevant. What counts here is the exception, namely the outlier, the rare that dominate the most in extremistan. Now, you can from here see why with globalization and internet the world is shifting rapidly to extremistan, where the winner take all effect, all advantage, right? Let me give you some practical example. Take Google and YouTube. They control more than 80% of the traffic online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are the behemoth, as I said in the previous episode, in terms of traffic in social media. If you are an actor, or let's say if you are an author or an actor, if you are an author or expert who creates an online courses, or write books, and it's become a bestseller, like Harry Potter, just one day represent your entire earning, meaning it changed your landscape of financial well-being, right? Obviously, if financial is something that you value, your financial situation will go from good to better, or from better to worse. It is both ways. By the way, you don't have to be there to perform, and even that yourself continue to sell. That's the good news when you are in extremistan. And one thing I will even remind you is that the more life become informational, the larger the deviation. In another word, you are more prone to rare and highly consequential events that can be highly positive or negative, right? Now, here is where lies the major problem. The Procrustean bet of pseudo-expert entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, investors in this era is they are most likely to conflate absence of evidence for evidence of absence. Just as a turkey who is fed for 1,000 days by the butcher and 2 days before Thanksgiving is surprised to become a dead meat, right? In business life, let me take that in the business world. Just take, for example, membership sites. Let us take, for example, compete.com, which was one of the largest and well-known and highly successful website out there, which, by the way, they were more specialized in the area of online competitive intelligence and in web traffic analysis. Guess what? Compete.com went bust by December 2016. You can check it right away just after this episode. The main reason is they became turkey by falling victim of observing continuous profit, or if you want benefit, from when variation were compressed. In another word, they were observing profits, benefit continuously, but what they did not know is that variation were complex, were compressed, just as the dark side of the moon is very hard to be seen, right? Most people don't even, most experts out there don't even understand risk. Until completely realize that they were sitting on tons of dynamite. This is, by the way, the consequence of inferring from the observable. In another word, they were inferring based to the profit that they are seeing. Remember, increased statistical evidence. That's what they are seeing, just like the turkey. They know everything is safe, everything is going on well. But they turn out to be surprised to become a turkey. Right? Okay. From here, the straight question that comes in your mind is, what about most online businesses out there who are victims of self-deception and hiding even to themselves? There are plenty, right? Most experts out there don't understand risk. Okay. By the way, trade and industries are at their best when they are not generally understood to be profitable. And this, by the way, this is very counterintuitive. Remember, I say again, this is even, by the way, one of the big takeaway on the trades and industry are at their best when they are not generally understood to be profitable. Which is very true, because when it's like this, the competition fall off, and there are not a lot of people into come and divide let's say, and take the lion share. Since you are the person who owns the area, you have everything. Now, and the second thing that I would like to emphasize is that we should look to substance, not the appearance and surface of things. Yet it is incredible how most people just go by what they see, right? What they see. But anyway, let me just give you the three most important ideas to be taken from this episode, because I'm digressing and going in another area. The first and most important thing that you should retain and write it down and take action about it is that we humans, we are wired to favor the visible, the tangible, the well-narrated stories and anecdote, and we scorn the abstract, the opaque, the unknown. And this is the reason why optionality profit has been created, to help you navigate through the unknown, the opaque, mistakes, errors, option, luck, time, variation. This, by the way, I call this disorder clusters, because if you like one, you like all of them. Now, 2, most pseudo experts out there are most likely to mistake absence of evidence for evidence of absence. In another word, mistaking the extremistan for Mediocristan. This is very true, just like the turkey who was mistaking living in a predictable environment when in reality it was living in an unpredictable environment. And third, what matters is not how successful or unsuccessful you have been, but the magnitude of the cumulative of the rare. And fourth, that I will even add, is that under complexity, the legal and the ethic don't match anymore. And a lot of aspiring achievers are victims for pseudo expert and con artists who are out there to take your hard earning. Be careful, beware. This is the reason why optionality profit has been created. It is an honor to serve you guys, and please take these 4 ideas and implement it right away. Don't put it off. No, just start acting upon them, because the quickest way to be successful are at things is start doing them immediately. Don't put off, immediately, just start. It's better to fail early than late, right? The trick here is the mistake has to be small at small cost and gain unlimited. The worst thing is when mistakes are delayed and the risk built up till you realize you are sitting on a ton of a dynamite and you are out, just like the financial crisis that's happened to banks or what's happened to compete.com recently, right? Thank you guys, it was an honor to serve you.